friends, it's Nancy, and I'm here to show you a flip through of The Wall Street Girl. I should probably give her a little bit of a measure. The cover is about 4 3/4 by 7.5 and a bit, and the spine is about 1.5 inches across. There's lace. We've got 6 signatures and a hidden hollow back spine. My theme here is sort of vintage office, kind of stationery, correspondence, that kind of thing. So the inside is covered in fabric. I chose this fabric to match the orange and brown tones, and I made a lace pocket by sewing some lace to the front there, and I made this little floating pocket so you can put things in there. I used a collage of vintage stamps in oranges and browns as a tab. You can journal on the back or tuck anything in there, or pin it with a paper clip anywhere in the book. The tabs that I did on the signatures, these are cut from vintage envelopes. So this one is from a 1924 envelope, and I made these little collages. That was inspired by Roxy Creations. This was cut from the original book, and the date is 1916. So we have some vintage ledger. This is from a vintage diary. This is vintage I always forget this word. Composition book. This is from a vintage steno. Here is a page from the original book, and I made this little tuck spot here using an ad from a 1925 magazine, a shorthand stenographer's magazine, and these little envelopes that was shown by Gail Gostinelli a couple of Saturdays ago, I think. This is just a tag. It was an envelope from 1961, but I glued it to some cardstock so it can be used as a journaling spot. This is an original illustration from the book. Here's another tuck spot using one of these collages, and inside I've got some vocabulary cards. 2 of them are German and 1 is French. And this is an antique postcard from 1892, from Brussels, 1892. And it has a message written on the back. So you can move these anywhere. And that's the other side of the papers in that signature. Here I have made a flip out. So this is using an old 1964 envelope for the Canada Coal Corporation Limited. I put some cardstock on the back and sewed it with this eyelet lace to flip out. And inside I made this tag, and what I've used is phone message sheets, and I made another one of those tabs from the collage of brown and orange stamps. Some pages I put some tea-dyed tissue or onion skin paper to cover up some of the text. And I can't remember the date of that one. It also has a stamp on it. This just flips up, so you can write something or put a picture underneath. Composition paper. This is a memorandum from Halifax Insurance Company. This is from a book about business arithmetic. This is from a report, a ledger book. This is from a ledger book. And I just added this spare little mini envelope that I made just to sort of make it easier to open that up, because the pages were sort of clinging together. On the back here we have another tuck spot made out of those little cute envelopes, and this opens up to make a journaling spot. And the little tab here is a punch out from that collage of brown and orange stamps, so that just tucks in there and then right in there. Original illustration from the book. This illustration came from the 1925 magazine, the Shorthand and Stenographers magazine. Here is a little ad from that magazine. I've just got tucked up here. Here's a little fussy cut from the magazine and another collage, and the tag was cut from an old envelope. And here is another illustration from the book. A ledger page. This is from a typing text. This is a tuck spot right here. This was the back cover of that magazine. Inside I've made just this little fold out. This was originally an envelope to the Canadian Wood Products Limited Patent Department. 1957, I think. And I just put some tea-dyed paper in there for writing on. Some ledger. Here's a form. Here's another form that's been tea-dyed, and I used lace on there. Gosh, that feels thick. It's from the typing textbook, just to flip out from that ledger. This is an illustration from the magazine, and I just put it on some paper and tucked it up here in this tuck spot. This tuck spot was made from a 1935 envelope. Here is another flippy thing, and inside, this is actually a page from an autograph book from 1918, but you can use the front for journaling. This is also a tuck spot, so you can tuck something in here, and I've tucked in this extra fold down envelope of tea-dyed paper. And this is a piece of notebook paper, but this is also a tuck spot, so you can tuck in the back. And this miniature vintage envelope, I've put some more of these vocabulary cards, and this also opens. Another little fussy, not fussy, collage, and an illustration from the book. This is a little advertisement from the magazine, the 1925 magazine. I've put it in this tuck spot. This is a pay form of some kind, and another ledger page. This is a different ledger page, and a green steno page. This came from a bookkeeping textbook. This was the back cover of the 1925 magazine, and so I've just reinforced it and made a tuck spot out of it on the original book page. And this is the equipment for the regular stenographer: 1 speller, 2 erasers, 1 newspaper, 1 typewriter, 1 powder puff, 1 vanity glass, a couple of pads, a box of candy, 1 handkerchief, 2 or 3 rings, 1 movie magazine, 1 girl acquaintance, 1 half-dozen pencil, 1 or more rouge sticks, 1 flower in a high vase, 1 quick getaway for lunch, 1 kidder-proof personality, 1 date for tomorrow night, 1 utter indifference to observers, 1 mean swing to return the typewriter carriage, 1 comprehensive understanding of the boss. I thought that was kind of fun, so I put that in there. This was a fussy cut from an ad about pens. Another tuck spot here with tea-dyed flippy outy envelope. Another little collage there. And this was punched from a 1936 envelope. Diary page, another business arithmetic textbook page. Vintage ledger. This is an invoice form. There's another piece of ledger, vintage. This image was fussy cut from the Stenographer's Magazine. Another tuck spot that includes an ad from that old magazine. Here's another tuck spot. This is an ad from the magazine. Oh, ledger. Yeah, this is from a receipt book. Typing text. This is from a notebook. This is from a ledger. Another tuck up. And on the back, this came from an ad from the magazine, and I just sort of reassembled it to make a tuck spot and added this collage. This is from a 1950 envelope, all the way from Hobart, Tasmania. This is a little notepad that I made by taking the cover and a few sheets of paper and then whip stitching it with some silk embroidery ribbon. And I stitched on this little pen nib. So it just tucks right in there. And in the back, we have another pocket with the fabric inside cover. And this cover was made from a vintage cover, old stamp. And inside there's just some tea-dyed paper. So that is The Wall Street Girl. If this is a book you're interested in perhaps purchasing, it is on my Etsy shop now. If you're seeing this video, it's been listed. I have a few other things that I'm adding to Etsy. Let me just grab them. So if you were looking for stamps, I'm out of stamps right now, except a few days ago I bought a collection from a lady, and they're all on paper, and some of the pieces have multiples of stamps on them. So they might have 2, they might have 7, they might I think this one had 9. Yeah, some of them I had to actually fold. So they might have, this one is Year of the Tiger. Can't remember what year that is, and it's not really showing. So all of these are on paper. You can either use them the way they are, and I think they would be really cool, like this one here. It's kind of a pale pink paper from Dallas, Texas, and it has flowers. John and William Bartram, American botanists. So maybe this would be part of a collage in a botanical album. These ones are probably the oldest. Most of these are relatively recent, but these ones look to be old. Probably, well, this one says 1977. So where there's stickers, the stickers have been left on. Yeah. So each package will have 50 to 70 pieces, not stamps, pieces. So for example, this piece of paper has 5 stamps on it. So that counts as one piece. In some of the packs, they don't have as many multiple stamps on each piece as others. So these ones I tended to put more, like 70 pieces in instead of just 50. But there's some cute stamps in there. There's some puffins and there's a butterfly. So these are in my shop. I got some Alice in Wonderland fabric. Here, this one you can see the Queen of Hearts there. So this is quilt shop quality. It was made, I think it was, I want to say it's Macower Fabrics. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty, I don't know. I shouldn't say I'm pretty sure because I'm not. Anyway, these are fat quarters. Fat quarters is about 18 by 20 inches. These are actually bigger because I cut them from a meter of fabric, so it's probably more like 20 by 22 inches, but I won't swear to it. But you know for sure it's a minimum 18 by 20. So I've got that. Oh, I got these really cool exercise books. And when I was packaging them up, Doug said, "Hey, I had those when I was a kid in school." And I said, "Yeah, because they're vintage." So the covers are slightly different. I think there's 3 or 4 different styles, but the interior is all the same. It's, well, you'll see better in the, well, I guess I can take one out, can't I? So it's got 20 leaves. So it's the kind where you have the pink lines and the 2 blue lines in between. So it would help somebody who's, you know, just newly learning how to write. Helps keep them, the shapes of their letters a little more consistent. I think I have 9 of these. I have, oh, these are really cool. I have these aviation books, logs. So some are called aircraft log, some are called engine log. The interior seems to be the same. These are from the 40s and 50s. So this one's from 1960. Yeah, 1960. So it talks about, you know, how much flight time there is, what mechanical work was done, and then inspection reports for safety. But there's also a lot of blank pages. Yeah, so I think I have 4, 6, 8, 10. I have 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Well, bully for me. I have got some more fabric patches. So this first group, these are vintage sewing themed. So these are little sewing birds that you would screw onto your table and it would hold your fabric while you were sewing it. You know, here's a The photos will show you what's in there. So this one's got bobbins and a thimble and stuff. Some buttons and different things. So these are good to use for pockets, or maybe for a book plate, or maybe in a fabric flip. Could be used for anything. These ones are more quilt themed, so there's little quilts, and it's got a little bee, little labels. But the picture on Etsy will show you exactly what's in each package. Last two things, I guess. So these are scorecards for milk. So these are from there's some from the 50s, some from the 60s, 58, 57, 64. So this is the result of testing on milk when it was received at the dairy. And these, I think, okay, I put 10 in each package. They're blank on the back, so I thought, this front would be good, maybe to collage on, or, do some fussy cuts, or, stitch some fabric to or something. And then the back makes a great place for journaling. Then these kind of kooky things, there's 5 of these cards. 9 1/4 by 5 1/2. So they almost all say, there's 2 different transport companies, I believe, but I think the Robert Newman one was more, there was more of those. So these are also from the 60s. So you would record the milk that something about the milk you're transporting. I don't know anything about it. I think it's interesting, but that they're only recording every other day. I wonder why. Oh, well, here, this one, they're recording every day. Oh, that was 66. They were, oh, this one's 65 is every other. Weird. Anyway, the backs might have some little notes. There's like messages and things on some of the backs of them. Some pin marks where maybe it was pinned up on a cork board or something. But I thought they were kind of a neat piece of ephemera with the big numbers and what have you. I only have 5 of these. So if this is something you're interested in, it is listed on my Etsy. Anything else I want to talk to you about? Oh, I have started a new journal. So last week when Catherine was here and we were talking about, is there a journal that you haven't made that you want to make? So I want to make a journal without a theme. So this is the cover I've decided to use. And I've made the spine. It's going to be a big one. This is a 2-inch spine. I just have to decide on what kind of fabric I want to cover this with. And I was thinking not this fabric, but maybe something like this green to match with that blue. Or I was thinking of using something like some vintage or reproduction shirting fabrics, which is like a dark blue. This one would be good if I had enough, because it almost has a rusty look to it. I kind of like that, but I don't have any more of that. But that's what I'm kind of thinking about. Like, I don't know, green or blue. Green and blue are sort of out of my normal wheelhouse. I tend to do pink. But I thought I like blue. I don't have anything against blue, but I'd like to try using some blue in a journal. Anyway, I think that's all I wanted to share for tonight. Again, if there's anything you see here that you're interested in taking a look at on my Etsy, they are posted. Next week, sorry, the end of this week, I will be putting my Etsy store on vacation for a week while I am away. My son will be here babysitting the cat, but we will be in Nova Scotia enjoying our vacation. So you take care. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.